Hello. My cat has already joined us for today's reading of Crenshaw. I'm on chapter 33. Right? You ready for chapter 33? It may snow outside, so I have my dinosaur snowing shirt. All right, chapter 33. Saturday morning, I woke up, went into the living room and found a big empty spot where our TV had been. The room looked naked without it. My dad was making breakfast. Pancakes and bacon. We hadn't had pancakes and bacon in a really long time. Robin was sitting at the kitchen table. Aretha was drooling, and Robin's chin was gooey with syrup. Daddy made my pancakes shaped like R's for Robin. Do you have a letter preference? My dad asked me. He was using his cane, which meant he wasn't feeling great. You okay? I asked. The cane? He shrugged. Just a little insurance policy. I hugged him. Plain old circle pancakes would be great, I said. Where's Mom? Picked up an extra breakfast shift at the toast. Daddy sold the TV to Marisol, Robin said. She jutted out her lower lip to make sure we all knew she wasn't happy. Marisol? I repeated. I saw her dad while I was taking out the trash, my dad said as he poured perfect circles of batter into a pan. We were talking about the game today and how his TV had conked out, and one thing led to another. He had the cash, I had the TV, and the rest is history. But how are you and I going to watch the game? I asked. We're going to Best Buy it. I grabbed a strip of bacon. What's that mean? My dad adjusted the heat on the stove. You'll see. Where there's a will, there's a way. Aretha liked watching Curious George, said Robin. She sat down with her plate and Aretha licked it clean. Ugh. You may be interested to hear that Curious George began his existence as a character in a book, said my dad as he flipped a pancake. In any case, this family needs to spend more quality time together. You know, playing cards, maybe, or Monopoly. I like Chutes and Ladders, said Robin. Me too. My dad tossed a little chunk of bacon to Aretha. Too much TV rats your brain. You love TV, I said while I started loading the dishwasher. That's because TV's already rotted it. There's still hope for you two. It didn't take long for my breakfast to be ready. Nice work on the pancakes, I said. Thanks, I do have a certain flair. My dad pointed his spatula at me. I saw Marisol when Carlos and I were carrying the TV. She said to remind you about the Goucher's dachshunds. Yeah, we were walking them tomorrow. Aren't dachshunds wiener dogs? Robin said. Yes, ma'am, my dog said. You know, Jack. You know, Jax, I haven't seen much of Delwan or Ryan or anybody else lately. What's up with them? I don't know. Dewan and Ryan were doing soccer camp. Everybody does stuff in the summer. My dad put some dishes in the sink. His back was turned to me. I'm really sorry about soccer camp, Jax. I just couldn't swing it. No biggie, I said quickly. I'm kind of growing out of soccer. Yeah, my dad said softly. That happens. I stared at the sweet steam spinning from my pancakes. I tried hard not to think about Marisol watching our TV, feeling sorry for us while we played Chutes and Ladders and ate bran cereal out of a T-ball cap. Then I tried not to be annoyed with myself for worrying about something so unimportant. I grabbed my fork and knife and sliced up my pancakes. Whoa, said Dad. Ease up, Zorro. I looked up confused. Who's Zorro? Masked guy. Good with swords. My dad pointed to my plates. You're getting a little carried away with the slice and dice action. I looked down at the pancakes. It was true. I destroyed them pretty well, but that wasn't what got my attention. In the middle of my plate, surrounded by maple syrup mush, were slices of pancakes neatly forming 8 letters. Crenshaw. Crensaw. Maybe it was my imagination, maybe not. In any case, I scarfed them down before anyone else could notice. Chapter 34. After my mom came home, my dad and I headed for Best Buy. We stopped at the bank, and while my dad stood in line, I grabbed 2 free suckers, one for me and one for Robin. I always pick purple. If there were no purples, reds are pretty good. I'm not a big fan of yellows. We were lucky to live in Northern California, I figured. It's really beautiful, except when there are wildfires or mudslides or earthquakes. Even better, it's a great place to find free food if you know where to look. The farmers market at the Civic Center parking lot is a great spot because they give you samples, things like honey in a straw or peanut brittle. Grocery stores are good too, the ones where they have free cantaloupe pieces on toothpicks. Our local hardware store gives away little bags of popcorn on Saturdays, so that's an option if you get there early enough. If you're hungry, you wouldn't want to live in Alaska, I bet. They don't have any outdoor farmers markets very often. Although in Alaska, they do have grizzly bears. I would very much enjoy meeting one of those guys. Oh, yikes. From a nice, safe distance, a grizzly bear's front claws can be 4 inches long. Around here, it's easier to be hungry in winter than in summer. Most people wouldn't expect that, but during the school year, you can get free breakfast and lunch, and sometimes after-school snacks. Last year, they stopped having summer school because there wasn't enough money. So that means no breakfast or lunch when school is out. They do have free food at the community center food pantry, but that's pretty far away. My dad doesn't like to go there. He says he doesn't want to take food from people who really need it. But I think maybe he doesn't like to go because everyone in line looks so tired and sad. After the bank, we went to Best Buy, which is this giant store filled with TVs and computers and cell phones and things. There were 2 long rows of TVs. Some were huge, taller than Robin, and every one of them was set to the same channel. I guess there were a lot of Giants fans working at the store. When Matt Cain pitched a curveball, 20 balls flew across 20 screens. One TV sky was a deeper blue. One TV field was a softer green. But the movements were all the same. It was like being in a house of mirrors at the county fair. Lots of people paused to watch the game with us. The clerks watched too, and they could get away with it. When one of them asked my dad if he had any questions about the TVs, he said we were just looking. During the 4th inning, something weird happened. Extremely weird. On everybody else's TV, there were 2 announcers sitting in a booth. They were wearing black headphones, and they were pretty psyched about a triple play. On my TV, there were 2 announcers sitting in a booth. They had black headphones, and they were excited too. But on my TV, one of the announcers was a cat. A big cat. Crenshaw, I said under my breath. Crenshaw. He was looking right at me. He waved his paw. I looked at my dad's TV. I looked at all the other TVs. None of their announcers were giant cats. Dad, I sort of whisper-gulped the word. Did you see that play? He asked. Amazing. I saw something else, too. Crenshaw was holding up 2 fingers, making rabbit ears behind the other announcer's head. Weird, I thought. A cat having fingers. I'd forgotten 10 Crenshaw had them. Oh, I'd forgotten Crenshaw had them, sorry. Weird, I thought. We worrying about that. You didn't happen to see a cat just now, did you? I asked in a casual voice. Cat? My dad repeated. You mean on the field or something? The cat standing on his head, I said, because that's what Crenshaw was doing. A handstand on the desk. He was good at it, too. My dad grinned. The cat standing on his head, he repeated. He looked right at my TV. Right. Just messing with you, I said. My voice was trembling a little. I changed the channel. That News Friskies commercial was on. My dad ruffled my hair. He looked at me. Really? Looked in the way that only parents can do. You feeling okay, buddy? He said. He asked. I know things have been a little crazy lately. You have no idea, I thought. I smiled an extra big smile that I use on my parents sometimes. Totally, I said. The Giants won, 6-3. Oh, giant cats doing handstands. Well, we'll see if my cat can do a handstand. If not, that's okay. She's a good cat. Until next time, we'll pick it up at chapter 35.